Have you ever felt like you didn't really belong anywhere anymore? A lot of the time we talk about homesickness, culture shock, and making new friends. But we often forgot to talk about the identity crisis that comes with living abroad. Hi, I'm Mary. Almost 2 years ago, I left France to start a new life in Australia, and this is the channel where I document everything I'm learning about living in a new country. I think after a while, you don't really feel connected to your home country anymore, especially when you decide that the new country you're in is probably going to become your permanent country. But you don't fully belong here either yet. You change, your friends back home change, your family move on with their lives, and one day when you visit a home, it doesn't really feel like home anymore. So I felt myself being caught between two worlds, needing to adapt to my new one, but not letting go of my roots, and then wondering where you actually belong. So, have you ever wondered who you're becoming after years living in a new country? Because often you leave your home country to chase something better, a different life and new opportunities, new work, new environment, new weather. We're all searching for a fresh start, and honestly, that's just human nature. We want to grow and we want to see what's out there. But building a life somewhere else asks a lot from you. You have to learn a new sense of humor. There's a lot of inside jokes that everybody will understand except from you. Foods that instantly remind everybody of their childhood while you're still searching for a decent baguette. You have to rebuild friendships from scratch. You slowly learn how people communicate, what they mean when they say certain things, what is considered polite, what isn't. I think for me, the hardest part has been friendships. Australians are all incredibly friendly, but I'm sorry to say that I'm not including everybody in it. There's a lot of surface level. So everyone is welcoming and kind and ready to help, but this interaction stays on the surface almost all the time. When you're actually looking for deeper meaning and deeper friendships, it's almost impossible. And even Australians have told me they struggle with that. People my age, Australians my age, they struggle making friendships because they had the same conclusion. Deep friendships can take a long time to build here. In France, people love to say that we're often very rude or we don't like to talk and we don't smile that much. And that is true, we're not overly enthusiastic. But I always felt like that once a French person lets you in, you're in for good. We know how to let silence be silence sometimes in conversation, and we don't feel the need to always fill it in. And we don't over exaggerate our reactions just to be polite. We just tend to connect differently. And that doesn't make one culture better than the other. It's simply different. And I felt that learning how to live between those differences really changed me. So at some point, I'm not fully French anymore and I'm not Australian at all either. I've just learned how to adapt. And honestly, I'm not looking to be 100% Australian either. The weirdest part probably is that as much as I'll always be French, now there's a little part of me that's Aussie too. I find myself hoping that the Socceroos will win their match, well, unless they're playing against France. In that case, sorry, Australia, I think we'll be just fine. But without noticing, I've started saying things like, no time to fuck spiders, and I love how easy it is to talk to strangers here. I love that almost everybody on my walk says hello, and I love how obsessed Australians are with their dogs. And even though I'm not personally brave enough to do it, I do love seeing Australians barefoot in the supermarket. Like it's the most normal thing in the world to do. And the coffee. I'll defend French food until the day I die, but I'll happily admit that French coffee sucks. French should honestly be embarrassed. The coffee here is just a ritual and it's respected. And the taste, everything just feels good. It's just not something you drink quickly to wake yourself up. Sometimes I think the perfect world would almost be Australian coffee and French croissant. If I could reunite the two, I'd be pretty happy. And maybe that's actually what I'm trying to say. For me, living in another country was never replacing a culture with another, but it was collecting pieces of both. Ever since I've been a little girl, I've been fascinated by the idea that people live differently somewhere else. Different traditions, different habits, different morning routines, different ways of seeing the world. And for as long as I remembered, I always wanted to see how it feels. I just always wanted to understand them. And now I get to. And it's probably one of my greatest privileges. I don't want to become less French. I don't want to become more Australian. I just wanted to become more human. And the best way to do it is to mix a little bit of different cultures and see how someone else is living in different parts of the world. Put yourself in someone else's shoes for a day, for a year, and come back and see how much changed you are. I want to carry the best parts of where I come from and making room for everything I'm learning here too. So now both places became part of me, and I'm so proud to say to people here that I'm French, because Australians sees us as people who have good food and are good at soccer and good at fashion too. So I love being French in another country. I want people to see that I'm making an effort. I want to contribute to the community I'm living in while bringing a little bit of French culture here, and at the same time respecting the culture I've been welcomed in. But I'll still flinch when I see a croissant that looks really wrong. I'll still spend half an hour looking for bread that reminds me of home. I'll still wonder why I'm paying so much for a piece of cheese. And I love having an accent. I will always love being the taster at a table when someone asks who's going to taste the wine. Those are all little pieces I'm really proud of, and I don't need to lose it to belong somewhere else. So that's why living abroad in a new country is actually teaching you. You don't have to erase who you are. You don't have to become someone completely different just to belong and not make any waves. You can carry multiple cultures. You can carry so much knowledge and a mix of different cultures, and that'll make you so much more interesting than trying to erase who you are to become someone else. I almost tried to reject my French part when I first moved here, and now that I understand that I don't have to, it makes me realize that I can carry them both and be so proud of it. And personally, it makes me feel really proud to be French and feeling a little bit Australian too now. Again, thank you for watching today, and I'll see you next week for a new subject.